Hey guys, Scar9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video we're going to be doing another fun ranking video. In Season 2 of Destiny, there are a lot of really good armor sets that come from ornaments, but there are also a lot of very bad ornament sets as well. So I thought one thing that would be pretty fun is to go through all 21 sets of ornaments and rank them from worst to best, because you guys like those types of videos, and it really gives us an introspection into the game, kind of seeing what the developers were thinking, and gives us an opportunity to give some feedback for future seasons. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the Eater of World ornaments, while they are technically part of Season 2, are not out yet. You cannot complete the Prestiged Eater of Worlds because for right now it doesn't exist. So really that just means that those will not be part of this list and maybe will be included with the list I make in Season 3. But there are 21 like I said, so let's just not waste any more time and get into it. So the worst ornament set in Season 2 has to be the Warlock Zenith Veil 4, which is the Vanguard armor set ornaments. Now this has to be the worst looking armor set in the entire game. You look like a weird bug. It's honestly just plain bad. And on top of that, not only does it not look good, there isn't a single shader in the game that can make the armor match itself. Whenever you put on a black shader, half of it turns like a weird color that doesn't match black, which I didn't know was possible. You put on a purple, half of it turns another color that doesn't match that. All around, it just doesn't look good with any shader of the game. And honestly, it's just a very disappointing armor set. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, so let's just move on. Now, the next one is another Vanguard armor set. This one is going to be the Shelter in Place armor set for the Titan. Man, once again, this is just a really disappointing armor set. At first glance, it's just really generic armor, something you would get from a purple engram with a really dumb antenna on the head. I mean, why do they put these things on there? What's that thing even for? You have a ghost that can transmit on pretty much any signal in the galaxy. Why the hell do we need an antenna? Anyways, what really ruins this armor for me is the class item. The orange never changes with shaders. And I mean, no matter what color you run with it, it doesn't change. And there aren't really that many good orange shaders in the game, meaning that no matter what, you're really just mismatching with that class item because for some reason they didn't make it change with shaders. I don't know why they make certain armor sets not change colors or any parts of armor sets not change colors with different shaders. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me, and this armor set really is negatively affected by it. Now, the third worst ornament set for Season 2 definitely has to be the Dead Orbit armor for the Hunter. Now, this thing is just disgusting, and that is honestly coming from one of the biggest Dead Orbit supporters in the entire game. With the right shader combo, you can literally make it look like someone threw up all over your stomach and it slid down all the way to your ankles. That does not make a good aesthetic. It looks really bad. Half the shaders in the game make it look like that, and then the other half just make it look like you have some dumb white streaks going across your body. I don't understand this design at all. It doesn't look good. It has a terrible cloak. You have weird pillow thighs. There are upwards of like 700 unnecessary pockets on your stomach that none of them look good. And honestly, the gross paint splatter just ties it all together to make this thing an absolutely terrible armor set. Now, the next one is going to be yet another Hunter armor set. This is going to be the Vanguard Took Offense armor set with the ornaments for Season 2. Now, once again, the Vanguard sets really do suffer from the class items not changing colors with shaders. I don't know why this happens. No matter what shader you run with this, you have a bright orange stripe on your cloak. It makes zero sense. The armor set doesn't really look that great to begin with. It's very generic. Nothing really stands out about it. It's not very unique. And the inability to match it with any shaders definitely does not help its case. So once again, this armor set has to be one of the worst in Season 2. Now, the next one is going to be the Future War Cult ornament set for the Hunter. Now, this one is almost as boring as the last armor set. Once again, very generic. I don't know what the heck is going on with the polka dots, but it really doesn't fit in very well. It makes your face look like you have 500 eyes. It looks gross. Honestly, I'm really just not impressed with this Future War Cult armor set at all. The other ones look a little bit better, but this one is really boring. The polka dots don't tie together. It doesn't go great with a whole bunch of shaders. And honestly, I was not impressed with this at all. Now, the next one is going to be yet another Dead Orbit armor set, and this is going to be the Season 2 set for the Warlock. Once again, another gross Dead Orbit set. I don't know what they were thinking with the paint splatters. On most of them, it really does not look good. It just looks like a tattered sheet with vomit smeared down it on the Warlock. In addition, the Warlock has this ridiculous scaffolding on its head. I don't know why that's there. Maybe to stop the Warlock from running into walls? I don't understand the design choice with this armor set at all. And honestly, I really hope we don't have anything as bad as this one in Season 3. I don't really have any excuses to make for this one. It's just plain bad. So from this point on, we're starting to get into armor sets that really aren't that bad, but there's nothing super impressive about them. So the first one is going to be the Hunter Crucible armor set for Season 2. Once again, just like I said, this is really just an average armor set. There's nothing I hate about it, but there's also nothing too flashy. I think the most noticeable thing is going to be the cloak. It's one of the coolest cloaks in the game. It's very slim, it's got a cool design on it. That is pretty nice, but other than that, it's really just a standard armor set, and there's not much else to say about it. Now, the next one in this category is going to be the Titan Future War Cult set for Season 2. I really still don't understand the polka dot thing. They did a lot better job with this armor set than the Hunter one, but in my opinion, the polka dots still don't make much sense. This armor set's pretty average in my opinion, but I kind of appreciate the fact that it at least looks like a futuristic knight. You know, if you look at the boots, the arms, it definitely gives that kind of feel that a medieval knight walked up on some alien technology and was able to improve their armor set, or, you know, something along those lines. It just, I can kind of see what they were going for, but the polka dots really just don't do it for me, and all around, it's just, once again, not that cool of an armor set. The next one is going to be yet another Titan armor set. This one is going to be the Season 2 Ornament set on the Dead Orbit armor. Now, this one is so much cooler than the Hunter and the Warlock sets. It blows both of them out of the water, but it's still pretty generic. I really have never liked this design of the helmet. It looks very blocky. I'm not really sure what they were going for with it, but the rest of the armor set is actually pretty well designed. This one actually has streaks that are pretty cool. On the chest, there's kind of like the 5 white lines. This makes it just kind of feel like you are Punisher from the Marvel Universe, which is obviously very, very cool. And on top of that, the rest of the armor isn't too bad looking as well, but the random streaks on the rest of it and the overall design of the helmet definitely make it more of an average armor set for me. Now, the next one is another faction armor set. This is going to be the Future War Cult Season 2 armor set for the Warlock. Now, the Warlocks have by far the coolest out of any of the Future War Cult armor sets. It's essentially just a trench coat that was made for space. It looks very cool, very sleek. Once again, I could really do without the polka dots, but besides those, I really like this armor set. I think it goes very well with a lot of shaders, but I still think it could be better. I really hope that the future of Future War Cult's armor sets has a lot cooler stuff in store for us. Now, the very last of the average armor sets is going to be the Iron Banner Season 2 set for the Warlock. This is definitely my least favorite of the Iron Banner ornament sets. I see what they were going for, but I think the default look is just a lot cooler on the Warlock. I still don't like the weird headdress piece that the helmet has. I don't understand what's going on with it. I thought it was cool at first, but honestly, it just looks kind of weird. I also think that the armor pieces could have looked a lot better. I'm not sure if it's just maybe too plain for me. You have the kind of robes of the Warlock. They all have one texture. There's not a lot going on there. All around, I think it can be considered a pretty boring ornament set, and there's not really much else I have to say about it. Now we are getting into the armor sets that really make an impression in Season 2. These are the ones that people are going to look back in a year and be like, I'm really sad I didn't play in Season 2 because I wasn't able to get my hands on those ornaments. The first one is going to be the New Monarchy ornament set for the Warlock. Now, this is definitely my least favorite of the New Monarchy sets for Season 2, but it still looks really awesome. There's nothing I really hate about it, but it just doesn't seem as royal as the other two. It's not as flashy, there's not as many of the lion ornaments, and it really just comes down to that. It's still a very sleek armor set, it's very nice, and I would still consider it to be much cooler than the average ornament set in Season 2, but I think it could still use some work. Now, continuing with the New Monarchy sets is going to be the Hunter Season 2 ornament set for New Monarchy. Man, this thing is definitely one of my favorite looking armor sets for the Hunters in the game. I love the royal feel of this. The golden decals look absolutely amazing, and this is what I really want to look for in faction rally sets. A sense of uniqueness and epicness that tells a story about your faction. This armor set shows that I'm representing something huge, something majestic, something royal, and that I had to work to get it. It wasn't just handed to me. I'm actually high up in the faction because I did a lot of work for them to get them standing. Now, that being said, I'm definitely looking forward to getting more armor sets like this in the future. Now, the next one on this list is going to be the Warlock Crucible set ornaments for Season 2. The main thing I really like about this ornament set is that it looks like you just took bits off of enemies that you defeated in Crucible and wrapped them all around yourself. It's got a very nomadic feel. I really love the robe design. It's almost kind of monkish. It looks like I said, you just ripped like a cloak off of a hunter, you made a sash out of it, and you kept going until you had these really cool robes. I also love the weird wires holding everything together on the back of your helmet, all over your arms. That thing just gives the armor set more of a realistic feel to me, and I definitely appreciate the look, the design, and the overall feel of this armor set. I think overall I can best describe this armor set by saying it not only looks cool, it's also extremely unique. Now the next one is another Crucible set, and this is going to be the Crucible set for Season 2 for the Titan. Now this armor set just looks like a person who can go into Crucible and kick some ass. It's bulky, it's not annoyingly large. My favorite part has to be the feathers surrounding the neck of your Guardian. It just looks amazing. The animations on these feathers are really well done. You can always tell it's kind of like blowing in the wind, and whenever you apply a shader, the tips of every one of the feathers will change colors, which really helps to tie the armor set in with the different shaders that you apply to it. This armor set is a perfect example of how you can make an armor set without making it look too crazy, but also consistently make it look good with a multitude of shaders, because everything ties together very nicely regardless of what colors you are running on this armor set. Now the next set is going to be the Titan Iron Banner armor set for Season 2. Dang, this thing is gorgeous. I usually rock the CALUS'S Treasured shader to make it look really majestic. The gold and purple really stands out on this armor set, but honestly, no matter what shaders you are wearing, this ornament set is pretty much my favorite Titan Iron Banner armor set in the history of both Destiny titles, and I can't imagine that changing anytime soon. My favorite detail is the Iron Banner crest on the chest. I actually really enjoy the detail that it gets partially covered by the sash going across the chest. You know, on every armor set, you shouldn't be able to see full designs. Things should be covered up, things should be moved around, and I really like the attention to detail here, and I think it adds a lot to the armor set. Now the next armor set, yet again, is a Titan armor set, and this is going to be the Season 2 New Monarchy set on the Titan. Now, do you want to look like a freaking king? Not only a king, but the Master of Lions? Then this is the armor set for you. Man, this armor is the exact reason why New Monarchy has won 3 faction rallies in a row. It's sleek, it's shiny, and honestly, it's just cool as hell. Plus, it has one of the coolest hairdos of all time. I honestly have no idea how they got the hair to stay like that. It's gotta take a lot of gel. But real talk, this is exactly what faction armor sets should look like. It's very cool, it's very representative, and all around, the person who designed it did an amazing job. Now in 4th place, we have the Hunter Iron Banner set for Season 2. This is one of my favorite armor sets, period, in the history of Destiny. I love the samurai feel. The Iron Banner tree and wolf decals on the arms and legs really tie everything together. The armor is gorgeous, the helmet has an amazing feel to it, and honestly, there isn't really anything I dislike about this armor set. The cloak is long and flowy, it's very reminiscent to the Mantle of Gellian in Destiny 1. It works really well to tie together all the lore that we know about the Iron Lords, put it into an armor set, look cool as hell, and also be pretty flashy, and I definitely have a great appreciation for this armor set. Now, the top 3 obviously are all going to be armor sets for the Trials of the Nine. They knocked it out of the park with this season. They all look very weird, but also very cool. So for this video, the 3rd place is going to go to the Hunter. Now, on my Hunter, this is my go-to armor set for most activities. Minus the raid, I can pretty much always be seen running this thing because it looks so freaking gorgeous. I love how it's so slick, aerodynamic. It fits the overall theme of the 9, you know, being very wacky, very alien, but still being very functional. I love that. It features what I consider to be the best Hunter cloak in the game, something once again that looks kind of weird, but still is very, very cool. And in addition, if you manage to get the flawless versions of these ornaments, it just makes the set look that much cooler with the glowing blue outlines. I am not disappointed in this armor set in any way, shape, or form, and I can't see myself changing it anytime soon. In 2nd place, we have the Trials of the Nine one for the Warlock, and I always have a very hard time trying to decide if I like this one or the Hunter one better, but I think I'm gonna have to go with this one just being a little bit better. It's one of the only good Warlock sets in the entire game. This is one of the only, if not the only armor set in Destiny 2 that looks noticeably better than most of the Warlock armor sets in Destiny 1 as well. I love how slick and awesome the helmet looks. You got the really cool like curved spikes coming off the back of it. It ties together extremely well once again with the alien and weird theme, and honestly, the best way to sum it up, it's just a freaking fantastic armor set. And now we have reached the #1 ornament set for Season 2. This is going to be, of course, the Titan Trials of the Nine armor set. So if you guys have been around my channel for a really long time, you know I am absolutely in love with this armor set. When paired with the Crimson Valor shader, this thing is amazing. The blue glow that you get from going flawless just ties it all together. Once again, I love the weird alien design, and honestly, how perfectly the design of this is pulled off really makes this my favorite armor set in the Destiny universe, period. It looks very thematic, but it is also very cool, very weird, and it's pretty much just the perfect indicator of what all armor sets should strive to be. Their own unique thing, but uniqueness should not take away from how awesome an armor set looks. It should add to it, and this thing does it in such an amazing fashion. So it is going to be ranked my favorite ornament set in Season 2. So that is going to be all 21 ornament sets ranked. Let me know what you guys thought about all of these down in the comment section below, and if you have the time, go ahead and rank all 21 of them for me, or at least your top 5. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you were interested in watching either of the 2 videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed for more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.